Got a text.
You should act like you don't know that's on.
Like, wait. Let's hope that you're not muted like I was when we first started last week.
I didn't get no text.
I sent it to Pixel.
Oh, are we going?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Disorderly Podcast. I was looking for something visual as well. Let's do this again. Welcome to the Disorderly Podcast. My name is Pixel, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts, Kyrox, Angel, and DogOwner, and I'm putting my hands up in the direction in which I see their cameras. The Disorderly Podcast is a variety podcast where we talk about a bunch of different things, just a group of friends, talking about subjects, laughing about things, having a good time.
Yeah.
So,
Ripping on each other.
yeah, ripping on each other, talking about dirty laundry, literally and figuratively.
The laundry basket is still on the bed.
It looks fine. It looks great. So, what have we got going on this week? I've got some great stories, but I can share. So, let's Kyrox, what have you been doing this week?
I've been kind of sick. I did a tournament that kind of failed today.
Okay.
Bunch of motherfuckers.
Oh.
But
Hey, no
other than
cursing.
just chilling.
No
like,
cursing.
that's all right. Sorry, children. But no, this week just kind of a chill week. We watched a lot of movies, TV shows. I watched the end of Attack on Titan.
Oh,
yeah, the end.
Okay, I didn't know they ended.
Yeah, that just farted in Aaron's face.
Okay.
Oh,
so
God.
is it? But didn't they end with still with kind of a cliffhanger, or no? Am I crazy?
Do you want me to spoil it? It's really nothing.
Well, I
Let's
don't
not
want you to
spoil
spoil
in
it
case
for
someone's
it's a
watching.
pretty popular anime. Like, that's a
Yeah,
big one to
let's
spoil.
not.
It wasn't like the other one where I was like, "This is utter garbage, worst thing you've
I mean,
ever
they
seen."
ended it.
Waste of your life.
They ended it, but it was like they did something where it's like, okay, maybe this could be the thing in the future, but probably
it was
not.
it was like a Lost ending. It was like
I never saw
purgatory.
Lost.
Build up, and aw.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good, really good.
All right. Cool.
200.
You've been playing anything other than
I've been playing Final
Fortnite?
Fantasy 7 remake.
Ooh.
Yep, getting back into
that- When did that one come out?
that. COVID 2020.
Oh, okay.
Playing through that. So when I first started the game, like I was like, all right, they're gonna make 3 parts this game. I'm gonna find a spot to grind. I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna get as high as I can, and then when those games come out, I can just smash through them.
Yeah.
They announced that part 2, your levels are not going to be carried over. So I'm just like, F, I'm just supposed to beat the game. So
Yeah.
the game's really easy right now.
Someone's having streaming from prison.
Okay.
I just let me go get my harmonica.
Oh my God.
We're actually we're in the prison with him.
Yeah. This is the only
calling
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got green screen behind us.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a reason our last podcast was about my final meal. It's getting real dark. Okay.
That's it for me.
Angel, how about you, man? What you been up to? What you been playing?
Not a lot,
Watching.
actually. Like, honestly, I kind of put gaming to the side for a little while. So, like, I did play a couple days ago, but for the most part, like, maybe 3 or 4 days straight, I did not
Oh, yeah,
play.
you've been reading.
I've
What
been
have you
reading a lot. Oh, my God. You want me to pull out the books now?
Yeah. No, I do, actually.
Oh, my God. Okay. Give me a second as I pull out the books.
Where's that
Okay.
laundry?
Oh, my God.
See a little better.
Did you make your bed today, Angel?
All the Pokemon
Let's
adventures
go.
and it.
Oh
I've
my
bought
God.
books.
Beneath his desk and pulled out like 15 books. But
Dude.
I love it.
they're old, like they look like red, blue, and yellow versions of
Dude.
Pokemon. Maybe?
So
Am I
basically,
crazy?
yeah, no, you're not crazy. So the first like entire book is just red, but like every book is about every protagonist in the entire game. So like, you know, you got blue, green, and so on and so forth. So you're dealing with a lot. And then finally got this bad boy. I've been searching for it forever. Every fucking place has not had this book.
Wait, really?
They have not had this book. Everywhere I went, they were sold out. And the one bookstore where I got the rest of these, they're like, "Oh, actually, we got 2 of them." They went back there. "Oh, we only have the one." I'm like, "Give me the book. Give me the book now. I want it. I want it. I want it." So I got it. So it was fantastic. But
Are you a fast reader?
I am for the most part.
No, he's a slow reader. He skips words.
But-
I mean, if you buy 12 books, I'm pretty sure you're full sending and being a fast reader.
Oh, dude.
What grade level can you read at?
I could read only at
I
the
have no
3rd
idea.
grade level, so.
All right. So, haven't been playing games. Have you been watching any TV of any kind?
Nah, just
Any kind of shows?
just like basic reruns of either Pokemon Black or White or even Everybody Hates Chris, which I think the show's okay.
I love Everybody Hates Chris.
It's got funny moments, but then there's moments it's like I don't know. It kind of it's catchy and it's not catchy at the same time. It's really weird.
I aspire to be as frugal as Terry Crews is as the dad. And Everybody Hates Chris.
I need that picture of him from that show where he stares at you like all
Yeah.
like angrily because you're spending money.
So
Yeah.
I actually worked at a high school that he went to,
Really?
and
Yeah.
in one of the hallways
Yeah,
they have a big picture of him framed.
Yeah, he's from Flint.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so crazy.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You didn't play any Sonic with the new Shadow skin?
No, I mean I got the game, but I refuse to play it again. It's really just no good.
Why?
Angel hates things like
What
LeBron
happened?
James.
What's
So-
the drama?
So the latest Sonic game,
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's too slow. Like as far
Okay.
as the gameplay itself, like the level design is nice. There
Yeah.
are some levels where it's like, oh, these are pretty cool, but the way Sonic moves is clunky.
Yeah.
His speed is way too slow. If I really wanted something that damn slow, I would play Alex Kidd.
It's like if they made a skinny Kirby.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I
It's a
mean,
kid from the Sega Genesis.
yes, but what? But what I am looking forward
Pixel has
to,
no DogOwner and Pixel have no idea.
what
I-
are you talking about?
what I am looking forward to though, and I can tell you, is the fact that they're coming out with another Sonic Generations, but with Shadow being the main character in that game now.
Ah, yes.
It's
that-
one of them.
Oh my god, dude,
It's a
I'm
Sonic
so
and-
ready.
All I know about
Modern
Shadow
Sonic.
is all the memes
Yup.
about Latinas.
It. Oh
He's
my
gonna be in
God.
Sonic 3.
y'all. Oh yeah, the movie. I can't wait for that. Jim Carrey's gonna be Dr. Robotnik again.
Who do you think is gonna voice
Good.
Shadow?
Oh, I don't know. I hope it's somebody good.
People are hoping for Ryan Reynolds,
Oh no, no.
which I don't feel like that'd work.
no.
I don't know, dude. He
They're
likes to dip his toes and everything, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Ryan Reynolds and Hayden Christensen, which I think that would work. Anakin.
Oh man, I don't know. We'll see, because I've heard they had a couple people in mind, but I'm not too sure like what they're really thinking.
You want to put a bet on it?
Okay,
Hey.
okay. I'll bet you and you can of G Fuel.
All right, sounds good.
All right, moving on. Dog owner.
So
What you
sidetracked.
been up to? I realized that it kind of turned into movies, TV shows, and stuff like that, and that's usually what we do at the end. And I was supposed to just do what were you up to?
Well, it's disorderly. It's disorderly
Hey,
for a reason.
there we
That's
go.
the name. Yeah, so it's been a couple weeks since our last podcast. So I went to Florida for 4 or 5 days to see my family, and my nephew plays high school basketball, so I got to catch a couple more of his games before the end of the season, and then I came back to Michigan and been working the past 7 days. So it was a pretty busy 7 days, but it was good though. I survived it. So yeah, so just kind of been doing that. I mean, I haven't been playing any games. I really only play Fortnite or Genshin when I'm on stream with Kyrox. But I've been watching a ton of stuff. I think the couple that really stand out is I watched this new documentary called Lover, Stalker, Killer on Netflix. That was really good. And I think that was a movie, so it's not a series. It's like an hour and a half. That was good. And then I watched this series called School Spirits, which is like this girl dies and she's stuck in her high school. Like her ghost is stuck in her high school and she's trying to figure out what happened to her. And that was pretty good. And then on the plane, I watched The Visit, which is like these two grandkids go visit their grandparents, and the grandparents are acting really weird, and they're recording them. And then at the end, I don't want to spoil it, but like it's freaky. It's a pretty good movie, and it's not too
alien demons.
I want to spoil it so bad, but it's a good movie, The Visit. So that's pretty much. I haven't read anything. I took a book with me. I didn't read a single word out of it, but
You watch a Truman Show.
what do we watch?
Oh,
Truman Show for the first time
We
ever.
watched. Yeah, I
That's a
never-
good
Yeah.
one.
Wait. Was it Kyrock's first time or Dog?
Mine. It was mine.
The first time watching Truman Show? I like that show.
Yes.
Or movie.
Yeah,
Show.
it was really good. I love Jim Carrey. So
Yeah.
last night I put in Kyrox's Discord, like, hey, we're trying to find a movie to watch. I didn't feel like thinking, so I just like, let me just ask the people. And I want to say that it was Posh OG that suggested Truman Show. And we got a lot of good suggestions, but I'm like, let's go with Jim Carrey. And Keo had a lot of good things to say about it, so we watched it and it was really good.
She thinks
Had
I
a lot of good.
sold it.
Yeah, you had a lot of good things to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she would really like it. She'd never seen it. Didn't have it.
Like you really liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you like had some like insider scoops about like behind.
Oh
the
no!
I was
Hyped it
upset.
up.
I thought it would be like every guy and how they watch Lord of the Rings and be like, well, he actually broke his toe.
But she thinks I oversold it though.
A little
Wait.
bit, because
Yeah,
we're hyping it for so long.
It's slow in a couple spots, but I think it's really good because it's like it's not just funny. It has wholesome moments and like kind of sad moments even. I think it's just a good movie. I think a lot of people overhype it for being like a comedy, and it's kind of just a little bit of everything. So
Yeah, like it has funny moments, and I laughed a few times, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like
yeah,
a comedy.
yeah. At this stage in our lives, we're like, that's just traumatic.
Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, it was good. I was happy. So
So I have been flying a lot this week. I was on standby at the airports. I couldn't tell you what day. I don't remember. Like 6 days ago, maybe. Something like that. And I got called to Santiago, Chile.
Let's go.
So I got to spend 2 days in Chile.
cool.
I went on 2 long hikes. Up
Wow.
kind of like a mountain. It's like a small mountain. And then there's like a church on top of the mountain that has a statue of a saint called Saint Cristobal, and it kind of looks like those like statues of Jesus with his like arms out kind of thing.
Oh,
It's kind of like that kind of like
yeah.
white polished statue to give like a visual. And yeah, I mean everything was beautiful up there, beautiful views. And then hiked down the mountain. And then I went to the what was it? The tallest building in South America.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I'm trying to remember the name of that one, but it's like a hotel. I mean, you can just Google it.
Hotel California.
Yeah. So I went to the top of that. Sadly, there's been a lot of forest fires in Chile, so it was like really smoky. It was like hard to see the mountains and whatnot, but it was still a beautiful view. I got some photos up. I'll have to put some up in some socials for us.
So, like, how far is Chile from? I don't know.
It is 5,000 miles away from DFW. And that's not an exaggeration.
God.
What
4,960 something.
What is it near? Like, what other countries?
It's near Argentina.
Okay.
It is like south of Colombia, west of Argentina.
Oh, Colombia.
It's on the western coast of South America.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And it's like one of the longest countries. It's like because it just goes all along the coast. Yeah.
Mhm.
I am very jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was absolutely beautiful. So I've been to Sao Paulo, Brazil as well, and I think I like this better because it like in Sao Paulo there's a lot of areas actually you were like I don't feel the safest here, you know. So you kind of want to like travel in packs kind of thing. I never felt like that in Santiago, and Chile is kind of like on the up and up when it comes to like just being a country in general. Like 2 decades ago they were like poorer and stuff like that, but they've been like exploiting natural resources and just really doing good as a country and whatnot. So
Nice.
you can kind of feel that vibe while you're there. Cause like everything's getting worked on, like just top to bottom, like everything is just being built up and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to see
Wow.
like everyone's like thriving and doing well. Everyone seemed really happy. People were super friendly. Even though I like didn't speak any Spanish, there was plenty of people that were like understanding of that. Even like if we couldn't like communicate very well, like physically, like we figured out a way, like, you know, to like communicate with one another and stuff like that, rather than just like ignoring it, like, you know. So that was cool. I had a lot of fun. I bought snacks while I was there, so I bought some like Chilean chocolate, and then like some sour candy and stuff that I saw a lot of people grabbing up.
Any hot honeys?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. A lot of very attractive people there. They walk a lot, so yeah.
They're in shape.
They're in shape for sure.
You mean what people
You go
don't
to
do
the
here?
beach?
No, the beach is about 2 hours away from where we were.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So,
Dang it.
I'm sorry, man. I can't speak on that. But yeah, they had this huge mall. That's where I got the candy and stuff. And it's like 5 stories high or something like that. It's just gigantic.
Wow.
It's bigger than any mall I can think of here, and it was like absolutely packed. You know how malls are kind of dying here.
Yeah.
Like they're thriving there, you know. And so yeah, that was that fun story. Well, yesterday I had a really interesting story. It's not a ghost story. I'm sorry. Wouldn't that be funny if it was just like, and I saw a ghost twist? No, I'm just kidding.
It touched me in the butt.
No. So we boarded up an airplane to go to Orlando, and it was just supposed to be a turn, so it's there and back, right? And so we board up this airplane, and I walk up to first class, and I see that there's a problem happening up there, and there's 2 flight attendants up there already. So I walk up there and I was like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, this guy's portable oxygen generator, it pulls oxygen from the air, is not working.
Oh.
And I was like, oh. So first of all, flight attendants everywhere know that portable oxygen generators are usually the cause of emergencies in the air.
Yeah.
Like, we just know it. Every time there's a story about someone running out of oxygen, it's usually from these fucking portable oxygen generators. And there's several of them that are not allowed even on the airplane. Like, people will check them and they'll be like, oh, nope, not allowed on the airplane. You have to get a different one or something, like a variety that works and we know works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this guy comes on with a portable oxygen generator and it's not charging. And it's just because it's not pulling the right amount of voltage from the plane. Because we plugged it into like every outlet on the plane that we could find. And then the gate agent ended up plugging in on the jet bridge with the passenger and it ended up working. So it was just the voltage on the plane. So the gate agent brought down the manager. The manager and the pilot decided to kick them off the plane. And be like, hey, sorry, you got to find it. Like, this is just not safe for you to travel. Okay.
Man.
So we ended up going to Orlando. And we landed. And we had a 3-hour sit. It took 2.5 hours or so to get to Orlando. So we had a 3-hour sit, which gave just enough time for another flight to make it from DFW to Orlando.
Man.
With a passenger on it that had a portable oxygen generator.
Yeah.
It was the same exact passenger that they just put on the next flight and had an in-flight emergency where the portable oxygen generator didn't work and they used every oxygen tank on the plane to keep this man alive.
Oh my god.
I was gonna make a comment about if he had.
First of all, this is me readjusted. First of all, the company knows that this thing didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they put him on another plane, right? Second of all, this guy's like, man, I really want to go to Orlando. I could die.
More than I
I
want
get
to
to
live.
Orlando. Like seriously, like what is going through your mind? Like death or on-time departure. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Oh my gosh.
This man
Determined.
almost died. Like literally, the flight attendants walking off this plane are like flood. Like you can see,
Stressed.
just stressed, right? Because we're trained for it, but like not like as much as like a nurse or something like that. You know?
He's gonna want to
Like,
deal with it.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, like literally, hey, we're one oxygen tank away from this guy dying. Like, you know, like.
He must have had a Tesla oxygen tank at this point.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. So, yeah, so he got off the plane and I guess
He's at
he
Disney
made
World
it to
right now.
destination. Yeah, he's alive, barely.
Barely.
I guess he's like, I rolled the dice and I won.
Right.
I beat death.
Thank you, Grim Reaper.
yeah, like I don't know, man.
I wonder if he's like those people that when they make decisions, they have the fucking 8-ball that they shake to give them the answer.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know, dude.
should I take this airplane ride?
I was like, what is that important? Like, there's nothing that important for you to make a plane flight. Like,
I want to see my kid.
if you say it's like a funeral, like, then what are you doing? Making it a double feature? Like, what's going on? like, it can't be a funeral. A wedding's not worth it. Then you just bum out all the wedding guests. And be like, oh,
Yeah.
Uncle Rusty died today.
Died trying to get here.
Baby's being born. That baby has that on his
Nothing
life.
worth it.
Oh
Get a
my
car, get on a
God.
bus, figure out another way home. I'm sorry. Just don't fly if your oxygen won't charge, man.
Accept your limitations as a person. You can't breathe.
Oh my god.
Breathing is
dude.
important.
You should
Yeah.
have took his portable oxygen chain.
It just doesn't work anyway. Here you go.
It's fine. now.
My
So
God.
that was my week. So I had a really good experience, and then that experience, which was really funny, in a dark way.
No one died.
Hey,
no one
hey,
died.
no one
That's
died.
funny.
Yeah, I would probably have just been like, hey, I don't want to do a podcast today if someone had died. You know?
I do have one thing that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Which I kind of touched on my stream earlier. So we were kind of sick yesterday. Like, we didn't feel good. We're just kind of like down in the dumps a little bit.
Mhm.
I'm like, let's just order pizza. Daughter's like, I don't like BC pizza. It tastes like lunch food pizza.
Mhm.
So we ordered pizza from, I don't even remember the name of the place.
Guns.
Argon's, and it's super expensive pizza. I go there to pick it up. Terrible weather, but I get there, I pull up to the drive-through window, and the lady, the old timer, hands me my receipt, and it's on one of them booklets so that the check comes in. The big fat black booklets that you
know.
oh easy that you like give the tip and whatever on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She hands it to me. I sign it, and I'm like, "This booklet feels heavy. Let me open it up." There's like $100 in there. It's just like somebody paid their bill, and it's $100 just sitting in this thing. And then, like, I mean, initially I'm like, "Oh shit," like, okay, but I was just like, "Hey, I opened this up," and I'm like, "Where does all this money come from?" And she's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. And she realized you fucked up.
Oh, listen.
She's like, "Thank you so much. I love you."
You would have took my
you brought
tip.
it back. Oh,
I gave
what a
it.
guy.
And then you called me, and I was like, man, she was lucky she handed that to you, because
Yeah.
many other people would have been real pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And I just,
Dude, poor Mondo. Mondo was going through a lot this week. Because like, how like last month we caught COVID and we were just like, oh, we're sick, but we're not as bad. So last week he was coughing, and it was like uncontrollable coughs. We didn't know why. I was thinking, oh well, he got a regular cold, or like he's getting the flu or whatever. He's just real congested. Second day he was coughing like nonstop, wouldn't stop. Every like 5 seconds it was just cough, 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 and he complained about his throat hurting. So the next day I got off of work, I'm like, let me just take him to the doctor, see what's up. They go to tell me this kid had COVID pneumonia. And let me tell you, he was so cute, but he was so funny at the same time because he was pissed. He goes, "Curse you, COVID! I hate you! Why does it exist?" I'm like, this fucking kid. And he said it in the hospital, and the doctor's laughing from the other room. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Little poor
Gets
kid.
putting on a show.
Dude, he at first, and his
Poor
first
guy.
thing was like, "Oh, am I gonna get really sick and die?" I'm like, "What the boy? It's just pneumonia. They give you medicine. You're okay."
Yeah.
And, like,
If you were a little old lady.
You should say
Yeah.
yes.
Shit, yes. Oh
Baby.
God, we're trying to turn him into a ghost. You got me.
I miss what Kiko said. I think that's so good.
What a transition. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Send them straight to Gord.
What are we talking about today?
Angels setting it up so I can knock it out.
Oh.
So the subject of the conversation today is ghost stories.
Ooh.
Some of us may be skeptics here. Some of us are true believers. You can find out who.
Right now.
Right now, as the podcast goes on. Would
Leaving
anyone
dark.
like to start? Because I can tell you right now that I don't have any stories.
It was planned.
But I
Angel
will
or
be
Keo?
the devil's advocate.
I mean, I got one that I told recently.
I haven't heard it yet. So you said that you told it, but I definitely haven't heard it yet. So I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm not. I don't like. Okay.
Words.
Anyway, so like
just
when
a lot of utterances there.
I got two. I got two.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe a three.
Okay.
But I'll do my most recent first. So I was laying in the bed, and well.
Okay. See. Okay. Go for it.
Wait.
That's not how you
He's so
started.
excited already.
Reaction from Pixel.
So this lasts like
I got
2
me.
weeks.
Okay.
So like, this probably happened 2 weeks ago. So like a month ago, I'm laying in
Yep.
the bed.
Yep.
And I'm sleeping. And I'm like getting out of sleep, and all I hear is like just voices. So I don't even know what's going on, and I'm like, okay, whatever, just bullshit.
Yeah.
I go back to sleep. 2 weeks later, dog owner gets up for work. She leaves, and I'm in the bed, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in my ears, one ear, I hear like the same like. I hear it sounds like a guy screaming like, "Ugh." And then the other ear I hear a woman go, yes. I'm like, what the fuck?
Fucking creep.
And then all of a
I
sudden,
mean, y'all are in a basement.
yeah, we're in a basement. but then all of a sudden, the bedroom door opens.
Okay.
And I sit up, I'm like, is that a dog? Is that a cat? No, nothing. And then it was weird. It was like, so there's a fan in the bedroom,
Okay.
and the fan shuts off completely.
All at the same time. Rapid fire
Like
succession.
it was like door. It was almost like something walked in front of the fan. Fan's dead, and I'm laying down like with my arm like this, and then all of a sudden my arm is numb.
What's your state of sleep right now? Well,
I'm
like obviously you got up, but like
It's like-
what was
it's
your- when you heard the voice, were you just like, was it like wait, was it like
gosh.
this? Was it this stage of sleep where you're like kind of scrolling through socials?
no,
or were you
it was
like full on like
it
sleep,
wasn't
sleep?
full on. It was like I was in and out,
Okay.
and it was like probably 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, I got some stuff to say
And-
about that, but
I mean, go ahead. I'm just telling you what happened. Door open, fan shuts off. My arm's like this on the bed, and all of a sudden this arm goes numb,
okay.
completely numb. And like I'm not that type of guy, but
Mhm.
that was definitely really, really. And I think the
Mhm.
yes, hearing the woman's voice say yes.
Yeah, hearing the
really
voices
freaked me
is
out.
scary.
Yeah.
It freaked the fuck out, and it's like I'm not. I'm not lying.
No, I honestly believe your experience.
I don't know what it was.
He was
Yeah, yeah.
hallucinating on G Fuel is what happened.
Yeah.
I was Stone Cold Silver
No, G-
didn't have anything on it.
No, G Fuel can't make you hallucinate. It's a sponsor.
Oh yeah.
If anything, it sobers you right up from seeing ghosts.
Yeah. So
Complete.
what do you think what happened then?
I don't know.
You're asking me what I think happened.
Yeah. What
So
do
a
you think
lot
what
of
happened?
people do experience ghost stories
Okay.
when they're in a state of sleep, and there's
Okay.
been like studies about it, and it's like a form of sleep paralysis where your brain sees things and creates things in like a half state of sleep. So I mean, a lot of people see ghosts in many other
Yeah.
situations in sleep, but sleep is a very common ghost story, like
And I
in
agree with that.
sleep-like states.
Yeah.
With the voices, yeah, I could chalk that up to it.
Yeah,
the
but the
door-
fan and the door,
the door
that's
opening,
crazy.
the fan, my arm.
So
It's
I
like-
at Starbucks, I wasn't there, but I remember hearing a story that night crew. They said that like every chair of a table was pulled out in like succession, and it was like all of my friends, and they were all like, well, actually like two of them were like very religious, like Christian people, like probably thought there were demons, like like much less ghosts, like So like they're not very big into ghosts, so like for them to say that they saw something like that, like moving things, that's really strange for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with mine, so I don't know. I had an ex and she watched like a lot of those ghost shows, and I tried hard to find one. Like it was the dude with the hunk that wears the baggy jeans,
The dude with the hunk.
the
very
hunky
specific.
guy, Zach, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, one of them. But what they would do on the show is they would set up an Xbox Connect,
Yeah.
and they would put it in a room, and like I'm almost positive it was like dust, and it would go across the Connect and be like, "Oh my god, we got one!" And I used to put the Connect on, and be like, "Oh, we got one!" And she freaked the fuck out. And I downloaded their app that they had on their phone where you could apparently pick up voices.
Yeah.
And like I noticed like it was almost on a loop, and it was like a
Yeah.
scam. I paid $5 for it. I even went to a graveyard and then I didn't pick up anything. But
So there's a device. It's like a electric transmit. Like I don't know. It picks up
EMT.
electric signals or something like that, right? And a lot of scientists that have like studied the device itself are saying that it's picking up on its own electric fields that it's putting off from just having batteries, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just it's kind of hard to like quantify some of these things. I think some of them are like real solid stories, but I think a lot of things are people trying to find stuff as well. I know that like true believer ghost theorists and stuff like that, or ghost chasers, ghost hunters and stuff like that, they hate like those like History Channel shows and whatnot, because like some of those places are literally rigged for like the glass the lighting fixtures to move and stuff, and so I kind of a friend of a friend that I've like listened to a couple of his podcasts and stuff, and he's a ghost chaser, like a amateur ghost chaser in Atlanta. I mean I've heard him like speak personally as well, and it's just like like I'm just like the whole time I'm saying this kind of stuff because I'm just like I don't believe it. And he's like I was the same way, but then you hear their voices and you're like different. So I'm just waiting for an experience because I don't know. I don't believe in my own personal life. Like
But yeah,
So-
even my experience, I'm like, did this really happen?
Yeah, yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, but I mean, like the fan, the door opening and stuff, like any kind of like movement, like that's like hard to explain away with anything, like right,
DogOwner, you got some ghost stories?
I have two.
All right.
And it's kind of like ghosts is a little bit of a loose term.
Mhm.
It's kind of like ghosts versus spirit. Is there a difference? Is there not? Or like ghost versus spirit versus an energy. I think that as people, we have an energy. To any being has an energy, and you can't destroy energy. It can only transfer.
Yeah.
So I won't sit here and say I believe in ghosts, but I do believe that there's more to just like a physical being that we see right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, two stories. They're both about my dad's. So the first one is my stepdad died when I was 13. So we lost him, and then fast forward to my 19th birthday. I'm very close with his daughter, who would be my stepsister. And we all went to a restaurant. There's like 10 of us. We all went to a restaurant and just like had dinner and we're hanging out, taking pictures, whatever. So at the end of the night, I go home and I'm looking on my phone, my same phone that I've had for forever. And I'm looking at the pictures. And in every single picture that's of me and my sister, which is my stepdad's daughter, in every single picture, there is this orb. And it's in different places. So like
Yeah, you showed me the
if you Kyo's seen them. If you like look at my screen right now, like in one picture it's up here, in another it's over here. So it's not like it's something on my lens and whatever, because every other picture, like if it's my mom and I, my brother or whatever, it's the orb is not there. But if it's my sister and I, it's on us somewhere positioned in the picture.
Yeah, that'd be freaky.
And we're like, oh yeah, even talking about it right now, I have fucking goosebumps.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's Jim. Like I can say
So before then, before that moment, because you said you were 19 at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before that moment, did you have any thoughts like that? Like, did you believe in like ghosts or I'm just curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that I thought about it. I mean, at 19,
So like you were going in like basically not like ever thinking about that kind of stuff. You saw the photos and you were like, oh, this is like something like that could be real. Like, you
Yeah,
know?
I was
So
like, what?
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I was like, my photo's fucked up.
Yeah,
Like,
at first you
who-
probably thought it was like a speck or something, and then you saw like
who
5
turned
other
the flash
photos.
on?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? But then as I'm looking at it, I'm like, every single one of me and my sister. I was
Uh-huh.
like, what the hell? And so, I mean, not like a super ghost story, but just something that's like always, it stuck with me for so long. So I'm like, that's freaky. And so then my second one, again, like, not to be a downer, but like my actual dad, he died a couple years ago. So so that day, like, we rode in a limo to as Keo and I, my mom, my stepmom, and my step grandma, I guess, I don't know. But I sat in the same seat all day long. So the I was in that limo probably up to 2 hours through the day. So fast forward, we're at the cemetery, and because you have the funeral service first, and you drive to the cemetery, and then you see the casket get lowered into the ground. And so we stood there for that, saw my dad go in the ground, and then I booked it to the fucking to the car. Everyone else was kind of hanging out around, like, talking, whatever. I wasn't about that shit. I'm grieving. I'm getting in the car. And so once everyone's done, and as soon as we pulled out of the cemetery, on the back of the chair that I'm sitting behind, I'm all the way in the back, there's a little light. I hadn't even noticed this light all day because it hadn't been on. Like, it's not, it wasn't blinking, it wasn't on, I hadn't even noticed it. As soon as we pulled out of the cemetery, that little fucking light starts going nuts. Like, blink, 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 blink. So it's like a steady, to where it's like something weird, like maybe the door's open or something.
Yeah.
It was a very unrhythmic blinking, and it did it all because we went from the cemetery to my dad's house, which is it's pretty close.
Yeah.
All the way from there to my dad's house. That shit was just like,
It was like on the back of the truck. Like, where was it again?
It was like the LED lights of the limo.
so I'm sitting all the way in the back, and then it's the seat, like there's 3 rows, so I'm in the back row. It's right in front of me, like I'm looking straight at it, and it's just like it's going crazy, like blinking the whole. And like I said, I've been in this car all day long.
Yeah.
It had never happened. The light hadn't even turned on ever. And so I'm in that moment, and it's like end of the day, just went through all of this, and I really felt like it's that energy thing. Like, I'm not seeing a ghost, but that energy of someone that just passes, like, still out there.
That's like a very common like story in those kind of situations as well. Like where there's like energy and then like a light flicker kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've definitely
and I was
heard
like,
that before,
oh,
so
shit.
that's kind of cool.
And then,
Yeah, that was cool.
like a day or two later, I had to work on one of the rentals, and I took his truck, and it was like one of the last rentals that we worked on. And I pull in, I park. My window was cracked like probably that much. All of a sudden, a leaf blows in and goes right on the center console. Oh.
It's little shit, like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, I'm not a naysayer, but not a true believer. I mean, I won't like go to bat with anybody, like a ghost walking around and spooking you and whatever. But like, I really just feel like energy cannot be destroyed; it can only be transferred. I feel like you can still use that energy to connect. With
even
people.
to be like I don't know, even to make it sappy. Like if it's someone like me that is like skeptical, and like someone like something like a leaf blows in or whatever, if that just reminds you of that person in a way. That's their energy and that's their impact on you right there. So it's just like, so even if it's just a reminder, like they're still with you in that aspect, So that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, Angel.
Oh, I got a lot of stories, but before I say anything, what are you drinking, Jexel? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I'm just drinking. Earlier I was drinking some Tupps beer. It is called New Color Machine.
That's interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's an IPA. But now I'm drinking carbonated water. So.
Carbonated. So I know there was a couple stories I heard from some people, but I've actually had quite a lot of experiences with paranormal, like growing up. One of the most like close ones to me is basically the old apartment I used to live in back in Chicago when I was a kid. The apartment actually was owned by my grandfather. Rest in peace. He's no longer with us. He died about a couple years now. And in this apartment complex, it's basically 4 units. You got you walk in. They have like one of those like like they have the gangways in most of like the cities or whatever. So you walk in, there's like the side door there. You have like a 4-set stair going up to the first 2 units, and then a winding stairs going up to the second floor, and it's another 2 units, and then the third floor is actually the attic. And every day, it was actually every day from the morning time up to like the late evenings, and it was like a constant 24-hour thing. We would hear constant walking around. And for the longest of time, we used to think that, the walking was basically my aunts moving around because, all 3 of my aunts lived in the same apartment building. One of the units wasn't occupied. And I go to find out later on down the line that my dad told me, he goes, your grandmother, which is his mom, she passed away in this house, and she always spent a lot of time upstairs in the attic. So we went up there one time because we were like in my grandfather's unit, and like he was like a hard time hoarder, so magazines and paper all over the place, just a bunch of stuff. And he basically, like, we were hearing walking. I'm like, that's weird. You can hear footsteps moving back and forth between the front and back of the building. You go up there, it's literally nothing. You don't hear no footsteps, but the minute you leave, you hear every single like wood flooring just creaking up there constantly. And my dad was like, he was so not worried, but he got to a point where he's like, okay, let me just call a priest, get the house blessed. Maybe she's
Oh my God.
like, like literally, like he thought maybe she wasn't moving on. And, for most people who do believe it, some of those, that deceased have not moved on, and they still constantly stay there for whatever it is that they're holding on to. So, I mean, that was one experience. Another experience that I had was I was maybe about 15, and I used to sleep over my friend, we'll just call him Thomas. Used to sleep over his house a lot, and behind his house was an actual like train line. So like the train, like freight trains would go by his house.
Yeah.
But behind that was a cemetery. And the one time we went there and we were playing Ghost in the Graveyard with his aunt, and I don't know, did I tell you guys that
What's
one?
Ghost in the Graveyard?
Yeah, tell us what that is.
And who wants to play it with me?
It's
like-
it's I vividly remember the
Is it
rules.
cops and robbers?
It's it's
Caught
basically
you, your dad.
I don't remember the rules because it's been so long, but I think it's like a form of hide and seek, but you're playing inside of the actual like cemetery itself.
Yeah.
So you have to play it late at night, like midnight hours or something like that to make it creepier.
You're not supposed to be in the graveyard at those.
No, we were we were breaking and entering, and we brought his grandmother
Oh.
with when she was alive too. So like we were all doing the breaking and entering thing because somebody had
So
cut
it's
a
late.
hole. Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm sorry, continue.
No, no, I wanted to know what he said. 'Cause he's like, it's just like, I'm like, oh, I like that.
No, and I got something for that too. Like I got like a sciencey thing. Keep going.
Okay, so somebody had cut a hole into a fence, so it was big enough for like a full body to walk in. We walked in, we're playing Ghost in the Graveyard with his aunt and her boyfriend at the time, and his grandmother started freaking out. Like just out of nowhere. We were in that cemetery for no less than like 20 seconds, and she started backing up and shivering, shaking, and on top of that, she was like petrified with fear. She was fine when we walked in. She knew where we were going, but she was petrified. We took her back. We came back ourselves, and we're looking for his aunt and her boyfriend. And like maybe after 5 minutes, me and him were walking, and he goes, "What's that over there?" And I looked. I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't see shit." He goes, "No, that right there. You see that blue light?" And we looked. It was an orb, about this big.
Oh, okay.
And like literally almost the size of a volleyball, just floating right next to us. We're talking about maybe like not even 10 feet. So we're like, what the fuck? Watching this thing basically doing this type of movement.
Yeah.
As we're staring at it, it stops. it gets brighter, and then it zooms off and disappears. We got terrified. We ran out of the damn thing, and we went back to his house. We didn't sleep the whole, like, 24 hours that we were already
in
up.
a UFO story?
No.
Is it like a two-parter?
No.
I'm just playing.
Like, that was probably one of the second, like, maybe that experience was the creepier one versus the first one.
Yeah, that sounds pretty creepy. Yeah.
I would play Ghosts in the Graveyard, but I'm afraid that shit follow me home.
They can. It can depend.
So how many people broke into the cemetery with you? Sounds like a lot. 5 or 6?
No, I mean, before us, there was probably like hundreds of people, like young kids.
No, I meant like in this current event. It sounded like there's a lot of people with
5. 5. There was two grown adults, one elderly. That's 3, and then you got the 2 kids that broke in there. Yeah, it was 5 of us.
So in a lot of cases, not in a floating light orb kind of thing, but like usually shadowy figures and stuff like that. A lot of people see shadowy figures at night and stuff, and a lot of scientists like equate it to the fact that, first of all, once again, your mind is trying to make objects. It's trying to find similarities and things around you and whatnot. Your mind does create objects to like try to piece things together.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it in like a light orb sense. Like a light orb is the opposite of what this like theory is all about.
Yeah.
It's like people usually, like dark figures and stuff like that, because your eyes obviously they lose light at night, right? So you can't see light, but movement actually increases. So your perception of movement increases, but your perception of light decreases. So that perception of movement increasing makes people see more things at night, like more movements and whatnot. It's like a evolutionary thing for us to, stay safe from wolves and predators and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes like more objects in the dark and stuff, or it's the whole reason that like when you're a kid, you like look over at your closet and that one hanging shirt, you're like, that's that hanging shirt, but it could be a ghost. yeah. Because
I still do that now.
Your brain makes like objects out of things and stuff. But
the door open and everything.
It does the same at like any kind of dark, any kind of dark place. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just a fun little sciencey thing.
No, I think that makes me think. So with my job, I'm on the road at all types of times of the day and a lot at night. And we live in northern Michigan. So when I say I'm on the roads, I'm on like back country, not a car. You don't see a car for a long time. It's pitch black. Like street lights aren't a thing. Yeah. And the only light that you see for miles is your car. And so sometimes when I've been on the road, and like usually when I go places, it's about an hour one way. So I'm driving a lot. And usually when I'm a little over an hour or so and it's dark, I got my brights on, I'm paying attention to the road, I will swear I see something in the road.
Yeah.
And I'll see it move. I'm like, okay, like, is that a deer? Because I've been this close to hitting a deer probably 10 times already. Yeah. So that's
I've actually been pretty close too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking scary.
Yeah,
so it's like, I'll think I'll see something, and then I'll get closer, and I'm like, there's nothing there. Like, why did my eyes and my brain just see something when I just got closer and there's nothing there? So that's it made me think of that when you were explaining it. It's like, that's a kind of like evolutionary thing that my brain's doing, maybe just to keep me alert or something.
It's literally like there's a person near you. There's a it's why people see Mother Mary in their toast. Like, it's the same thing. Like, we see objects and we're like, oh, that's a person, that's a thing, that's a it's like the ink blotch text that like the psychologists do. Like, what do you see in this? Like,
Peanuts.
Like you're supposed to see like certain patterns and stuff. Your brain is like literally trained for that. So it does the same thing at night when you're driving. But I've never heard anything like that from like obviously a light source, because obviously a light source would be doing the opposite. So something like a light's very interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Like, guys, I've never even seen anything like creepy. I've never seen a door open. I've never seen anything unexplained, and I think it's weird. Like, do they not like me? Are they allergic to me? What's going on?
I don't want them around.
Like,
leave me alone.
I think it's great. Like, but some people seem like to be absolutely haunted. And I think it's like really strange how different people's stories are.
I actually
I think I also want to present, and we can keep sharing stories, but I want to present like the idea of like some of us have already shared like why do we think these things are here,
Yeah.
you know, and I kind of wanted to like maybe add that little blip onto it. Like, do you think they have unfinished business? Do you think that it is energy? Do you think it's like, you know, like what's going on there? And maybe if you have another story to share, you can kind of plug that in.
I think I got too many health points.
The one I have is actually pertains to what you're talking about because like the unfinished business, whether or not they do have something to do here, or maybe they're just real angry, so they never want to leave, or whatever the case may be. Me and my girlfriend Mandy, actually, we went to a gravesite. I guess it's a popular gravesite that's, you know, going toward like Orland, Illinois. So like, you know, you're going like 30-minute drive. It's like right off of a main road, hidden behind like a tree. And it's a small gravesite. Apparently, Al Capone used to dump these bodies right there.
Okay.
All of his victims are right there. So like he used to dump them there. There's a little girl that died, so they buried her there. You know, like really sad shit. We went there with somebody that we used to be cool with. Not even gonna bother trying to give him a name. We went there. He's like, "You want to check it out?" I'm like, "Sure." You know, so we went there. We saw the gravesite, and apparently the rule is when you go here, you have to put down some sort of offering on the little girl's headstone. You know, as like some kind of sign of respect or whatever, because, you know, like that was the youngest victim that died there. Nothing dealing with him, but she apparently had befallen, you know, to some kind of illness. So we went there, we checked out the gravestone, we saw the site where he used to dump his bodies, and it's like a small little ravine, so it's not anything big. And we walked out, like after being there for like 10-15 minutes or something, and me and Mandy both got violently sick after leaving that place. And you can tell like there was something really wrong, because you walk in that place, it was like perfectly fine. I started getting really weird chills up my arm, and it was just one arm, like real cold, you know. And that's like another thing that people like associate with ghosts.
Oh
is
yeah,
cold,
yeah, I've
you know?
definitely heard that. Yeah, change in temperature.
Yeah. So I felt that, and I'm like, fuck, you know. And then by the time we left, I got so sick I couldn't even keep my eyes straight. I'm sitting in the front seat, just like literally about to pass out. Mandy had some kind of some demon or ghost of some sort that literally followed us home. She would have nightmares or get like, you know, the shakes, real violent. Possessed. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You were feeling different things. Yeah, twice. But you were feeling different things. So like literally, if we felt something that we've never really experienced up until that point. And after that, I was like, yep, no, like I was already a firm believer, but that one already put the stamp on everything. You know, like that made me really believe that there's a lot more out there that we don't know.
And so you think that was like obviously something like malicious, since you were talking about like the reasons people being here and stuff. Yeah. Did you like get the creeps where you felt like something didn't want you there or something like that? Like, did it feel malicious while you were there?
As soon as we walked in, it's like right before we got to the main gate of the place. Yeah, I felt that. And it was
also,
really
why
bad.
do you go to graveyards so much, man?
I don't know. I'm a curious cat, man.
I've been to the graveyard like 2 times before, and one time was nothing happened. The other time, like the ground was sinking around the 1800 tombstones, and I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I think something that's interesting, like not just a ghost thing, but like, what's the creepiest place you've ever been? I know mine.
Oh.
Yeah, my creepiest place that I ever been to was the house that was 2 houses down from us in Flint. That Boyo-sama
I knew it.
got lost in. It was so creepy.
Yeah.
Like it gave you the
Bad.
And like you walk in and there's like funeral pamphlets on the ground and
a melted cat.
Yeah,
a literal melted cat. I said, Kyo. I went in first, and
the like second time we did this.
Yeah.
You went in first.
And the house that you weren't supposed to be into.
Yeah, we were looking for Boy.
Wait,
His cat, his black cat.
Yeah.
And we knew he was in there. And just to preface it, he was in there.
Yeah.
Was it this time? I don't know. But so I walk in first because I have my gun. So I'm like, let me just lead.
I'm gonna blast you.
I'm gonna bust cap in that ghost.
But No, but a lot of, like there's a lot of homeless people, so they'll live in these abandoned homes. Not to say I'd pull the trigger on them, but like just don't hurt me. So anyway, I walk in and in the kitchen, a literal melted cat. I don't know how this cat died, but you can see the
real cat melted.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
you can see.
I thought you were talking about like a plastic cat that you saw.
No, a cat that died in that house. And the whole from like neck down to its hips was like melted into the floor. So I saw that and I was like,
shit.
This is fucked. So I know Kyo needs to come in here because we know Boyo-sama's in the basement.
Yeah.
But I'm like, don't look in the kitchen. Just come through here.
She's like, cover your eyes, I'll guide you.
Yeah.
And then we go to the basement and DogOwner like, I ain't going down there.
It was so fucking. I got the creeps.
Yeah.
So bad. And I've been in some really sketchy, scary Flint, Michigan basements. This basement, I would not go down there.
Yeah.
I said, Kia, here's the flashlight.
Give you the cold chills too.
Yeah.
There's more than just a meth lab down there.
And then we fucking heard boy meow. So we said someone has to go get him.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go cat.
I went down, DogOwner's like,
I had the gun.
Boy, like, how you much stuff?
He was down there, but that house was like top 3 creepiest places I've been to.
And I think like all the funeral pamphlets that were in the hallway was also extremely.
Yeah, and the roof was caving in, and it was bad.
That is pretty like your nerves must have been worked seeing those pamphlets. You know, like I know that cat probably walked in, was like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, and it's like looking at its body now, like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to boil something.
I'm sorry, Posh. Yeah, well, when you're looking for, I mean, I did some really not smart things when Leica, my hound dog, escaped the backyard. Oh, and when I lived in Flint by myself, when she was gone, I went in people's backyards. I did not give a fuck. I was like, my dog is missing.
Yeah.
So when you're in that situation, you kind of you don't care as much, but we weren't doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
At all.
You're gonna laugh at me for the creepiest place I've been into.
Oh.
Because it's like if you ever know
third different graveyard.
That's fucked up that you said that because it is. So it's a path, right? It looks like a little forest behind these trailer homes that's like in Alsip, Illinois. So like it's a small little like walkway path. People walk their dogs there, you know. And it basically you walk in and it curves around in a circle, comes back onto the main road.
Right.
And my friend showed me this. They're like, oh, there's a little pond here, and I thought it was cool. I didn't get freaked out till I went there during nighttime hours. I'm like, why does it feel really odd? I go to find out years later there used to be a memorial gravesite. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What the hell? Like, I already visited just enough like grave sites, like, you know, like just like graveyards, cemeteries on my own. But to find that used to be a cemetery, it freaked me out more, and I stopped going there because of it. I'm like, no, I've already.
Are you going to all these places?
So an active cemetery is easier than a past cemetery.
It depends. I'm not going to Resurrection, that's for sure.
Sorry, DogOwner.
No, are you going to all these cemeteries like specifically at night?
Yeah.
No.
That's a good question. Too.
So a few of like no. So the one with the Al Capone place, that was during the daytime.
Oh.
And that's why I was like, oh, like I'll never go back there again because, you know, I didn't know that could happen if you go to some, you know.
That's also another weird thing because like I guess I'm so like unsuperstitious. If I went to a gravesite and I came home sick, I'd be like, oh damn, I'm sick. Yeah. Like, you know, like I would not put the two together, and maybe that's why ghosts don't want to haunt me as well. They're like, it's not even worth it. He's just gonna say it's COVID. It's not even fair.
I think he has the flu.
Yeah.
I'm haunting this kid.
God.
It's like I stood in his closet for 3 hours acting like his jacket.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like
he didn't even notice me.
What about you, Pixel? Like, we haven't really heard about like the creepiest place you've touched.
My creepiest place, man?
Yeah.
Maybe I should avoid them. Maybe that's my problem.
Did you avoid Spirit? Is that why you don't go on there?
D- oh, Spirit.
The
what?
airline.
The
Spirit?
airline?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have to go on a competing airline.
I don't go on there. There's ghosts on that.
American Airlines, please.
Man, what's the creepiest place I've been to? I don't know. I've been to like. I know I've been to some hotels that are haunted and stuff with work. They're like some really old ass hotels, like the Ford's Creek when you're walking through and stuff. Like they filmed the Ghost Hunter shows there and whatnot. But I slept soundly as a baby. Like totally fine. Actually, it's funny you mentioned Al Capone. It was one of his. It was one of his hotels that he had galvanized for like the front desk, like locked down and stuff when the police showed up. And he had, I think, 9 separate escape routes inside the hotel.
Where's this at?
It's in Kentucky, Louisville.
Wow.
That's cool.
I didn't know that. I missed out on
well,
that
because
history.
Louisville used to be back in like late early 1900s. It used to be like Vegas, and then Vegas kind of put them out of business once they like started getting bigger. So they still have like casinos and somewhat of a nightlife there, but it's definitely dead to what it used to be.
Wow.
But that's why the hotel was there. It used to be like a place to be kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I could go on, history. I could just tell you the whole history, but it's not ghost related. So moving on.
There's that place in Fenton Hotel.
Yeah.
That's supposedly haunted. It's like it was built in like the 1800s, and I went there with somebody, and they said that an old man dressed in a suit. They went up to him and was like, "Hi, how can I help you?" He said, "Oh, where's the bathrooms?" And he pointed where the bathrooms were at. Walked past him, turned around, he's gone. But they say that's haunted, and I've been there before where the lights went out before, but nothing crazy. But people will say like they'll see people in the windows, in unoccupied areas, but it's never happened to me that drastic.
Yeah, obviously going up and asking some more questions, pretty face to face.
Yeah. Well, we did when we were in Mississippi last year for a work trip. We took a day to go over to New Orleans, and we did a whole murder tour.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Of course,
yeah.
And I couldn't retell you any of the stories that he told us because my memory is awful.
There's the one
from
Ghost Hunter.
But there was like we legit went to like the places and looked at the hotels and the whole restaurants. Like the murders truly happens there.
Yeah.
And nothing weird happened, but it was just really cool to be. I don't want to say cool, but it was interesting to be like legit in those places that these really heinous things happened.
And they're so close together.
Yeah, yeah. When we walked it, it was all like right there.
Somebody got murdered there.
Yeah.
DogOwner, you watch like a lot of horror movies and stuff. I don't know if anyone else does, right? Me. Y'all know about like the frequency that they play, right? That makes them like a little scarier. It's like they play a frequency that can't be heard by the ear, but like it's like a sub frequency kind of thing. Some of them do, not all of them, but it makes you on edge and like uneasy. Some people are starting to believe that certain electronics have a similar buzz or like hum to them. And it's like, since there's so many electronics around us these days, that like if you got around one and didn't know about it, like laid down or something like that, or like you got up or whatever it was, like sometimes you might feel on edge because of like that reason as well.
Wow.
Not saying it's like all these stories, obviously, or definitely the ones from the 1800s when there's no electronics, like, but it's just like an interesting thing to like point out for like some of the stories, So.
Have you guys ever? Oh, good. I'm sorry, kid.
I'll say when we were on that tour, the one that kind of creeped me out was the couple during Katrina, where the dude killed his girlfriend and that.
Oh my god!
And that was on the Ghost Venture.
Yeah.
Was it because they were like already gonna die? So you just like
no, it was like a weird domestic thing. But
he had some kind of mental illness. Is that the one where he like put her in the oven?
Yes.
Like,
oh god.
Yep.
The hell?
That was the only place that we went by that I got the creeps from, and maybe it's because I heard of it before, but that was like, ooh.
Yeah, no, this tour was like not ghost stories. It was true crime things that happened.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. Some of them were really bad.
Yeah.
And then the dude that our host,
he was awesome.
Tour guide, he kept looking at me, be like, because I was wearing my Flint shirt. He's like, "Are you really from Flint?
I couldn't believe it.
Is it that surprising?"
That's
Oh my
funny.
god.
Hey, we came all the way here to hear your horrible stories.
Yeah.
We have our own horrible shit going on
Yeah,
over there.
And Kyo goes up to him. He's like, "The water's brown."
Bodies are under the river.
Have you guys
Got
ever
shot
heard
off.
of the
I saw a half-melted cat.
That's the worst. Have you guys ever heard of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
Yeah,
The
sounds
50 Cent
familiar.
album?
No. So basically, Al Capone did this like real heinous ass thing where he had like a bunch of guys, and I don't know what other guys that were involved. I don't know if it was like a separate mob family or like police or whatever, but apparently these guys were on their hit list. And there's a building in Chicago somewhere where even to this day, from what I've heard, is that you can still hear Tommy guns going off in this location. And basically, he had these guys lined up against the wall. And that night, him and all his guys shot up a line of fucking guys in this one warehouse with, just blasting them away on, I think it was on St. Valentine's Day. Or on Valentine's Day, I'm sorry. So every so often, they're like, yeah, in this spot, it's haunted. If you're around this area, you can hear Tommy guns of basically them shooting these people who were just unarmed. They took all their weapons from them, and they were murdered. Like, pumped full of lead, maybe like over hundreds of bullets on them. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
So that's like really like a wild story and stuff. But like sometimes I hear those stories, right, and they like talk about some inanimate object, and
Yeah.
that's another thing that like gets me with ghost stories. It's just like I can understand when someone's like, oh, it's someone's energy or something, or they have unfinished business, but like, how does a Tommy gun have a ghost?
Yeah.
like,
The bullets are dead.
If I'm in my sleep and I'm just like, I hear a car horn, I'm not just like, oh, it's a ghost. Like,
It's a ghost car.
Or something. So it's just like, it's like really interesting. Like some of the stories, that some of the stories are.
Angel. Sorry, Pixel.
What'd I do?
What happened?
She
That was right into the mic.
Exclamation burp, please.
That was Angel.
We'll cut it out in post.
So, where the apartment I used to live at, they had a train go by.
Yeah.
And like it was like the last month I was living there, and I didn't even realize it. You'd hear it all the time go, doo, doo, doo,
Yeah.
doo. And apparently, like people that live closer to it, it would shake their house. But within 1 week, a homeless man stood on those tracks, got hit by a train, and then a little girl stood on the tracks and got hit by a train.
Oh,
And it was just like, I mean, it's not a ghost or anything, but it was just like every time I heard that train after that until I left, I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
that train is haunted now, just so you know.
Yeah, but like also like I feel like ghosts have like very similar stories. They're always like, I don't know, if they're haunting, they don't seem to be doing a very good job of it. Like they like, I don't know, like they don't harm people. They don't. They seem like impractical jokers. Like they're just like woo, and like they're out. Like
Well-
like, and then on top of that, like you don't get like I guess this is getting to the lighter side of the episode. I'm going to start trying to make jokes off of some of these because like you don't got any Gen Z ghosts being like, catch me outside. like comics are on a moan, but what if it was like, catch me outside? How about that?
No, I heard him say yes and open up the door and then troll me by landing on my arm.
Yeah, well, what if they opened up the door and they were like, "Hey,
what's up, bitch?"
So here's a real question, because like we know,
Ghost
like,
just came in and dabbed, and just,
what the so
like, I don't know, man.
So here's a real question. So we know, people have experiences with ghosts, but what about poltergeists? Do we consider them ghost or demon?
I didn't say anything.
Poltergeist, yeah. Because I mean, they're more violent.
demonic.
What is
Yeah.
a poltergeist? I thought they were the same thing, honestly.
I mean, you would think so, but like I know, like with poltergeist, they're real violent. Like somebody can live in a house and it's like calm, nonchalant. Next thing you know, they're hearing doors and cabinets slamming, shit getting tossed all over the place, and like there's even footage where people are recording this stuff. Camera sitting in one corner and you just see everything flying everywhere.
I think that, well, in my mind, I guess I'll say, like, a ghost would be more like someone who's died, who maybe died in that house or connected to that family or something that's just there. Like, maybe haunting, doing little bullshit here and there. But, like, a poltergeist, I feel like is more like a demonic thing. So where we're talking about, like, these ancient demons that are hundreds of thousands of years old or whatever, and they come into this world to take someone's soul. Like, that's where my mind goes. Like, it's more a demonic side of it rather than like a ghost that's just like paranormal activity that's just here. Then like a poltergeist is like you're trying to actually take over somebody's their body and take their soul.
All right, Keo, I'm coming for you when I turn into a poltergeist.
Well, you shouldn't though. You're
gonna like pants me, and
I am. I'm gonna take your.
You'll see a hand mark on my ass.
A poltergeist is just like an evil ghost, then, or is it literally associated with like demonic stuff? I thought there was the same thing. I thought poltergeist was just a different word for a demon.
I don't know.
Not demon, ghost.
Yeah, I would more clump like poltergeist and like demon, like malevolent supernatural entity.
Yeah.
Together, yeah. I mean, but then I think is it the Insidious or Conjuring? And I know there's fucking movies, but they are evil people. But but I just attribute like poltergeist more like to like demons, satanic, the devil.
But once again, like if at the end of the day, a poltergeist comes in your house and he slams a cabinet 4 or 5 times, I'm like, all right, chill the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, but that's someone there that's not trying to take over you.
I'd probably like walk into the kitchen and be like, all right, Dave, chill. Like, yeah. At the end of the day, he's not harming me.
Right. So that my thinking is like a poltergeist or a demonic possession is someone like an entity trying to take you over. They like Pixel. They want you. They don't want to just fuck with you, fuck in your house, fuck around your house. They want you.
Maybe in the movies.
And that's the difference.
I know how to fight this.
Circumstances that have happened.
I know how to fight this. I'm starting to poll. Chat, you decide. Is the poltergeist a demon or a ghost? You let us know. You vote on that one.
Oh, there you go. That sounds good. Yeah.
You tell us.
Yeah, you better vote.
Is a poltergeist a demon or ghost? Yes or no?
So.
Shut up, Gio.
So there are stories of poltergeists stealing people's soul. Do they just die after that?
No.
What happened?
Well, that's like exorcisms.
Yeah.
The term poltergeist comes from German folklore, which is a combination of German words poltern, meaning crash or noise, and geist, meaning spirit or ghost. The poltergeist is responsible for disturbances such as loud noises, sudden movements, or breakage of household items.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Just an asshole
once again,
ghost.
kind of an asshole. Yeah. So
an asshole ghost. But if you want to meet common ground,
is it a ghost? Is it a person that's passed on, or is it just the average everyday cat? Like, just knocking something off the table.
Apparently, the most places that have occurrences of poltergeist. Pokemon. Brazil, Australia, United States, and Japan, and most European nations.
Japan, I could see.
Really? That's interesting.
Japan,
I
like
like
see,
that. Because
I'm disappointed in chat. They put 50-50.
There's actually a lot of claims of poltergeists. The most recent being in Columbus, there was a poltergeist case. Which the thing is like a lot of these things like they record it, and I can't remember which ones I've seen, but you see just like all the chairs getting moved. It's like, all right,
it's more aggressive.
I'm not staying in that house. I'm done.
But also you sit and watch one of those videos. Like for poltergeist specifically, it would be definitely one of those things I would have to see in person, because I'm thinking that's fish line. Pulling that thing 100% every day of the week. Like definitely in this day and age where people are trying to become
Yeah.
TikTok famous and stuff.
Do you
Like-
think a poltergeist opened up the door and turned out the fan? Like that's kind of asshole-ish.
Yeah. He's like
Disturb my sleep, you dick.
now you'll be a little warmer. Woo!
Refrigeration for you.
Now you'll get stuffy and have to get on Fortnite.
Here's one, and it's not like a ghost related thing, but it's kind of like similar because like ghosts are basically like life after death kind of thing. There is a Chinese legend about a creature called the Jiangshi, which basically once the person dies, if they're not buried properly, love the movie. If they're not buried properly, they reanimate into what's called a hopping vampire. So they're supposed to be, like normally burials are supposed to be respectable, and you gotta make sure that they're taken care of before they're buried. And I've seen something like this in a like a documentary, but I initially thought it was just like a ghost type of thing. So I don't know, maybe there's like two different versions of a ghost, whether it be physical or spiritual. So that's what I'm seeing,
Wow.
Hey.
Well, would we learn, Pixel?
We learned that I'm
not
haunting
convinced. I'm sorry.
Okay, I have something I want Pixel's opinion on.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think, no judgment on your opinion, what do you think of when like people are close to death is imminent, and maybe they're not even like responsive or anything like that, and it's the reaching? Because they say like when you're close to death that your loved ones that have already passed on come to get you to help guide you to the other side, and people who are close to death will start like literally like physically like reaching up, like grabbing like someone take my hand.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that?
I don't know. Have you seen it? I mean, not to get like too dark into your line of work, but
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
More than once.
Yeah. But have you not seen it as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my thought process
Not
on
everybody
that,
does it.
so that's like kind of my thought on it is like, are they working off of like their last memories of, like, did they have those beliefs in their life, and as their memories are like failing, those are what they're holding on to, like, like in your last moments, a lot of people are thinking about the afterlife already, like, because they want to go there, because your brain is just like, it's shutting down in two different ways. It's shutting down because it's shutting down, and it's shutting down because even the thought of death sends your brain to spirals. It doesn't like thinking of its end, just doesn't, so it could be things that you're holding on to. I think a lot of people use lived experiences and might see things at a higher rate because of it. I'm not saying that they're not true in real experiences. Maybe one day, like, 2 weeks from now, I'll be like, I'm a changed man. Like, I might see a ghost. Like, who knows? But like, I just haven't had anything like that. And I feel like for one of those kind of stories, I'd have to experience it just because how I believe. And it would get way too deep into a totally wrong subject for a family-friendly podcast, or not family-friendly, but a fun podcast for me to tell you why I believe this way. So we'll talk about that never.
Well, maybe when we're all together one day having drinks.
Yeah. No, we can talk about that anytime, but it wouldn't be a fun conversation.
Yeah.
There is also like they say that part of what happens in that process is they're starting to die, and the DMT's kind of helping them through the process, which could make them see crazy shit.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, people hallucinate already in like day-to-day life. Like, medicine makes people hallucinate. People hallucinate just because of their brain chemistry. There's a lot of things that can cause people to hallucinate and see like crazy things. But they usually have to be in that mental place to seeing those things, because like I've been around people that have hallucinated before, not from drugs or anything like that, but because of their mental health.
Yeah.
And it's not a fun experience. So like the cutoff. Obviously, I'm not saying like Angel hallucinated seeing an orb.
Okay.
Because he was in a right mental place, right? But I'm saying the person I was with wasn't, and they were seeing things, So there are differences like that, and that's usually what I attribute to hearing like old stories, like when people are saying that they see like really crazy things or whatever, like
I had a patient just this past week. She was getting closer. She was declining kind of more rapidly than we thought that she would. And I was talking to her granddaughter, who was her main caregiver, and she said, "Yeah, this past week, I'll catch her wagging her finger, and I say, Nana, like, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, she's like, Larry," we'll say Larry is her deceased husband. Yeah. Larry's here to take me, but I'm not ready. I'm telling him, no, I'm not ready. Yeah. And she's like, it's every day that she's saying that my husband's coming to get me, but I'm not ready to die, basically. Yeah. And I mean, it's just crazy to hear
honestly, like, as dark as that is, it sounds like a really cool way to go. Because like to have that like mental, like, oh shit, all this is real. Yeah. Like because your brain is shutting down, so like to see something that is saying, hey, there is something later, like
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, is that an evolutionary thing to tell us, to calm down, to like chill out, like it's okay, like is that supposed to put us into the next area of life, whether it's death or a next life kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
There was a question in the chat that it made me really think about it, and I know like there's a health and scientific like answer behind this question, but the question is, can sleep paralysis be related to possible communication with a spirit?
So that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah. I think sleep paralysis is very commonly associated with ghost stories, and doctors know almost specifically why that is.
Yeah.
And you can actually look that up. There's a part in your brain that goes really active during sleep paralysis, and it's associated with like crazy like imagery or image association, I think it is.
Yeah.
I couldn't name it because I don't know it off the top of my head.
You're not a doctor?
Nope.
He got his doctrine.
But I've had this conversation so many times because I have like that ghost hunter friend and stuff like that, and like I don't know, it's
fun to talk about.
Yeah, but because I'm so anti-spirit, I guess I think I've like developed this way, and one of these days I'll probably just see something and be like, ugh. Like how I used to talk to Kyrox about aliens,
Now you're starting to turn around.
Yeah, I am.
Wait, in which direction? Wait, hold on.
Like,
so
where leaving them? Yeah.
Oh, welcome to the team, baby. Welcome to the team.
9-foot aliens across.
My one little statement that I always say is like, I think that it's very narcissistic for us to truly believe that out of the billions of universes that are out there, that we're the only planet with living things on it.
Okay, well that's another conversation.
We are not shit. We ain't shit.
No, we ain't getting in there. But I'm just saying, there's no way that we are the only planet with living things on it.
Ow.
Anyway.
Alrighty.
That's crazy.
Whole other topic of conversation.
that would probably be like a general cryptids kind of conversation or something like that. Maybe Halloween time period.
I know what I'm gonna be for Halloween now.
An alien?
I'm gonna be a cryptid.
Alrighty.
All right, Judge Man, do your thing.
Are we ready to close it out?
I think so. An hour and a half. They were pretty good.
Probably the longest one we've done.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us on this spooky story journey. Hopefully y'all got some fun experiences and some insights into different perspectives. I know I did. So yeah, make sure to check out everyone's socials. We have I believe thumbnails for the socials. Do we have a link? Nope.
If you
That's
guys
fine.
really want to see like the social handles, just make sure you go back to the beginning of the stream, and
Yeah.
it actually shows all of our socials on there, so you can find us easily.
But two that I have right off the top is obviously Kyrox7. He's our streamer buddy here, and then Angel. We're streaming on his platform right now, so go check them out. Am I pointing on the wrong side? Yeah. If you're not following, what are you doing? So thanks for joining us, guys. We had a great time.
Absolutely, and remember, stay spooky.
Stay spooky, friends.
Stay spooky.
Bye.
All right, later, guys.